Welcome back to Niaga Spotlight with me, Tamina Kausji. Now, moving along, for this week's analysis, we are taking a look at rubber industry prospects. Now, export value for Malaysian rubber and rubber products totaled 35.98 billion ringgit in 2022. Yet, in 2023, as one of the world's largest producers of natural rubber, Malaysia, as well as neighbors Thailand and Indonesia, are facing serious challenges in the rubber industry, which have led to drops in production, demand, as well as price. Additionally, weaker output due to the El Nino weather cycle effect may encourage more stocking up activities for traders globally. But Malaysia is currently not producing sufficient natural rubber to even meet normal demand. In fact, according to the Department of Statistics Malaysia, DOSM, Malaysia's natural rubber or NR production decreased by 13.7% to 23,460 tons in April 2023 from 27,188 tons in March 2023, just 1 month before. Well, with all of that in mind, joining me online now is Dato Dr. Zairosani Mohammad Noor, Director General of the Malaysian Rubber Board, to discuss Malaysia's rubber industry prospects. Thank you, Dato Zairosani, for joining us on Niaga Spotlight. How are you this morning?
Fine, thank you. Yeah.
Wonderful. Dato, if I may start off by asking you about natural rubber or NR production, this is expected to reduce in major producing countries, including Malaysia, and this is due to the spread of circular leaf disease, particularly in plantations in southern Malaysia, even northern Indonesia. What is the reason behind this, and what are some current strategies to deal with the anticipated 30% productivity loss, Dato?
Thank you. So pestalotosis leaf disease is not a new disease. It was discovered in 2017. It's caused by a fungus species, pestalotosis. And one of the danger of this species is that the spreading rate is very high. So initially in 2017, we have less than 1,000 hectares of area affected, but now currently our estimate based on our latest survey, total area affected throughout Malaysia is about 78,000 hectares. So to address the issue because of the impact of the disease, one of the reasons is that this disease has multiple hosts. Yeah, so if we don't do proper control and mitigation of the disease, the treatment would not be effective. So when we refer as having multiple hosts, it can survive on different plant species. So when it comes to rubber, then it will have the damaging effects of leaf fall and also reducing the productivity. So at the national level, what we have done is that we set up a national task force, yeah, to coordinate all our efforts to control this disease. So this task force at national level is chaired by MRB and also the Department of Agriculture. So what we do as the task force that we coordinated the strategy to the treatment, and then one of the areas that we are looking at is the what called complete control of the disease. So we cannot be treating the area of factors in patches. It has to be in total area. So what we have done is that we did a survey, and based on the severity, we carry out the treatment. So currently, the government is providing funding to MRB and also to RISTA, you know, to coordinate and to implement the treatment. So with MRB, we are given about 15 million.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for updating us with that, Dato. Moving along from there, if I can ask you about spiraling costs of fertilizer due to global shortages sparked by, of course, Russia's war in Ukraine. It's another factor reducing natural rubber output. What's the plan going forward for Malaysian rubber industry players? And are there any dependable industrial fertilizer alternatives for our NR industry?
Yeah. For rubber industry, the increase of chemical costs, especially fertilizer, is very impactful, mainly because 90% of our total area is owned by smallholders. So smallholders having very minimal resources, yeah. So they will find very difficult to commit on implementing fertilizer program as what we recommended. So what we are trying to do is that to review our fertilizer recommendations, try to optimize. Yeah, we are trying to optimize, and then we come up with what we call the optimized or discriminatory fertilizer program, where we try to optimize the use of chemical fertilizer. So by analyzing the soil nutrient, we are able to reduce the application of fertilizer. With this, we will cut the losses, as many applications where you have fertilizer, there are a lot of wastage in terms of excess and also surface runoff. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Dato.
Yeah.
I think that is a very heartening development. And moving along from there, now a lack of compliance and participation in global exports restriction policy, there's insufficient national price incentives, and also absence of national import regulations. These have kept rubber prices low, leading to low profitability for our most impacted smallholders. What are some immediate measures, in your opinion, Dato, which can help keep smallholders from exiting the rubber industry, especially looking at the increased cost of living that they are all enduring?
Yeah. One of the key issues in rubber industry is that the price is beyond our control, so it depends on the market forces. So what we are trying to do is, in addition to stabilizing the rubber price, by providing demand locally and also internationally, what we are trying to do, looking at the ways to sustain tapping activities of smallholders. Right. So what we are trying to do is to make sure that smallholders could achieve a minimum income in tapping. Right. So, for example, what we are looking at, in addition to price, is the total income of the smallholders. So the government, through MRB and also military, has provided incentives. There are three types of incentive currently given to smallholders. First one is what we call the incentive pengeluaran getah, or rubber production incentive. So with this incentive, the smallholders are guaranteed price. So for example, if the price is now currently is about RM2.40 per kilo, the government is providing incentive up to RM2.70. So the government will pay the difference, about 30 cents. So with this, the smallholders can be assured of income, right? Minimum income. And also government is providing incentive in latex production. As you know, smallholders can produce the coagulated rubber or latex. So if they produce latex, which is more premium, government is providing incentive of RM1 per kilo. And finally, government is also providing for the monsoon aid. As you know, during the monsoon season,
right. They can't tap.
Yeah, they are not able to tap. So government is providing RM800 to them. So with this, we hope that we can sustain the upstream sector, mainly to get the smallholders to produce rubber for local consumption.
That's right. And one last area, Dato. Export value for Malaysian rubber products totaled 35.98 billion ringgit last year. That's roughly about 4% of the world's total rubber production. What are some policy approaches that we're involved in to ensure sustainability for our natural rubber industry?
Yeah, thank you. So we are looking at various comprehensive measures and also strategy. So with this, we come up with what we call the agri-commodity policy. So this is a comprehensive policy and also strategy documents for the next 10 years. So the way we look at the industry is that we have to sustain the production, but in terms of volume, we are unable to become like what we were 10 years ago, the largest producer. What we are looking at the value now. So having our raw material, we will value add and then produce product, and then from the product we export. So we are looking at the more downstream application of natural rubber and to export our product. So with this, what we are looking at to further boost the expansion of the downstream sector. While on the upstream sector, we still continue the R&D to produce high yielding clones and better clones, so that we can manage in terms of limited area, but with increased productivity. Some of the measures for smallholders, we can, this is just launched recently. It's called the Rubber Transformation Project, where we cluster the smallholders, and then we introduce new technology so that the smallholders can reduce the production. But working in groups, in cooperatives, they can do value addition. So with this, we cut short the supply chain, and then the smallholder can be upgraded, in a group, from being just mere smallholders into entrepreneurs. And then on the downstream sector, what we're looking
Sure.
at to strategize and to position Malaysia as the leading global producer of sustainable natural rubber products. So in terms of sustainability, now I would say that we have the leading edge in terms of R&D and also infrastructure. I'm not sure whether you are aware, Malaysia now is developing what we call the Kedah Rubber City. This would be ideal ecosystem for rubber industry. So where it provides all the facility and also infrastructure so that we can have what we call the sustainable rubber city. But in terms of the downstream again, Malaysia is very strong in glove, latex-based product. We have about
That's correct.
60%, right? So
Thank you.
80%.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so
Perfect.
very much, Dr. Zairosani, for sharing your insights, especially integrated with Malaysia's R&D for biofertilizers. It does seem like Malaysia's natural rubber industry is having quite a few developments. That was Dr. Zairosani Mohammad Noor, Director General of the Malaysian Rubber Board. Well, that's all we have time for today on Niaga Spotlight. We'll see you next week with more business analysis and insights. Wishing you all a productive week ahead.